Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Manvana Samadhara Madhvayam Nijapara Bhavantam Jamakarante. Manvana Samadhara Madhvayam Nijapara Bhavantam Jamakarante. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Jaya Samani Sudhira Vipashati Dadava Nakadavariti. Jaya Samani Sudhira Vipashati Dadava Nakadavariti. Jami Jami Nishamya Dava Juda Dharapi Kripan Naviti. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Bhaktivedanta Jaya Madhava Napai Bhamati Mate. Parameshwarata Dharapi Samadhika Swagyata Dana Vimati. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. I'm Madinataya Yasunatana Radhika Putra Sumbara. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Saite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Saite. Gokuladharani Mangalam Mahite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Saite. Radharani Mangalam Deshe. Hari Kutame Bhaviti Neshe. Radharani Mangalam Deshe. Hari Kutame Bhaviti Neshe.
Ajnanam timirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurumilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Sudhaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Sarabhaktaya Namo Yam Pravrajantam Anupetam Apretyakrityam Dvaipayano Viraga Tarvajuhava Putrejitvam Mayataya Tarvo Vinayus Tam Sarvabhuta Hridaya Mulimanatosmi Bhaktya Vinina Aparadavashay Chitrasya Kamani Parandamayi Kripamaitam Sharanam Prapaya Vrinde Namaste Sharanarvindam Tavarvasmi Tavarvasmi Najivamitam Vina Iti Jayavade Tamanam Chanantite Angashamanim Chatarabhito Mandi Vitanti Varam Jayam Jaguralochi Sambhagavatam Bhaktam Varasya Shriya Vrindaranya Nivasinam Vidyasattamaviramam Radha Sandani Veshito Jvaladujam Jayamagamodaram Jayamagamodaram Adevika Kubaragadganaya Yavasha Rasheni Patya Bhuvidandava Ubhadanti Asya Prasadam Padasya Janasya Kripa Kandavite Jagane Kananam Videhi. First, I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet, my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad, Astotra Sat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudevs, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad, Astotra Sat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, to our grandfather Guru Srila Bhakti Vigyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, to all his divine associates, to all Gaudiya Guru Varga, and to all the assembled devotees, and the assembled devotees, Diksha Guru is my Shiksha Guru, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Bhani Maharaj. And where are we now? We are in Giridhari Gaudiya Math in Govardhan. We came a couple of weeks ago, Radhika, and we've been there. We came first, we were in the Gopinath Bhavan for a week or so, and then we moved to Govardhan. So before I begin, I just want to share some adjustments that my godbrother Prashanatma asked me to share. Some adjustments to his class of yesterday morning and the evening before that. He said that nobody except Radharani's personal gopis and all the animals and birds there and plants know about Radhakund. But then he wanted an adjustment, which is that because the pre-Anarm sakas, or the most exalted and intimate of Krishna's cowherd friends, have kunjas. Kunja means secluded groves where they would stay and have pastime. So all around Radhakund is his topmost Priyanarm sakas, like Subal, Ujjwala, Arjun, who else? Madhu Mangal, of course, and others. They gave their kunjas to various gopis, like Subal gave his kunj to Radhika, Madhu Mangal gave his kunj to Lalita, Ujjwala gave his kunj to another gopi, like that. So they for sure know about Radhakund, and they can go there, but only rarely when Krishna wants them to for a specific purpose. Otherwise, they're not there. Then the other adjustment is that when Krishna was stealing the clothes of the young gopis, he mentioned that the boys were like tiny tots. But it says in Gurude's books that the Priya Narma, because they're the most intimate, and only they can actually participate in many of Krishna's pastimes with the gopis. So the Priya Narma sakas, very few were there. Not that they would see the gopis in that state, but they were present there, they went along with Krishna. Another one is that Baladev also danced with Krishna's gopis, and seeing their separation from Krishna, he was so absorbed in their feelings of separation from Krishna after the dance or during the dance that he became black. There are several temples around Vrindavan where there's a deity of Dauji, means Krishna's brother Balaram, but in a black form. So becoming one with their separation, he turned black. Just like Radharani being absorbed in Krishna. There's a black Radharani at Tota Gopinath temple in Puri. And one last one is that the night before, he mentioned that when Krishna was just a little baby, is that it? Do you know it? That he never met with Radharani. So of course they don't have, pastimes like they had when they were grown up. But Radharani, when she was born, some days after Krishna, she couldn't open her eyes, which is always closed. But then some days later, Mother Yasoda brought Krishna to meet with her, and that way she opened her eyes so that the first thing she saw was Krishna, first person. And then, there's love at first sight. And then, when Krishna was a few years old, this took place in Bandiravan. I think we discussed this the other day, did we? It was Nanda Baba took Krishna out to graze the calves, right? And then they were in the forest, and the forest had so many dense trees already, so there wasn't a lot of sunlight coming in. And then all of a sudden, like in Miami, it started to rain, and torrential rains, and thunder and lightning, the whole sky became black. And then, so he didn't know how to protect Krishna, so he just kept him, in his arms underneath whatever he could keep him under. And then all of a sudden, this little young girl came out, and she went like that, like, give me Krishna, I want to take him. And then it was like, because she's the source of all spiritual and material illusory energy and control over everything, including Krishna. So Nanda Baba just let Krishna go to her, and then she took him into the forest, and then all of a sudden, Krishna became Manmataha. Krishna means teenage Krishna, the enchanter of innumerable cupids. And then all of a sudden, it became youth, in other words. Then all of a sudden, Lord Brahma, four-headed creator of the universe, appeared, and Lalita and Vishaka and all the Sakis appeared, and then the Sakis started singing wedding songs and showering flowers, and Brahma started reciting wedding mantras. And then, after a short while, everybody disappeared. Brahma disappeared, the Sakis disappeared, and Radharani and Krishna turned into, again, little children, and then Radha brought Krishna out, and Nanda took him home. So that was another incident when they were together. Let's see. I was going to say something else about that, but I forgot. So, the day that we went to Bandiravan, the same day we were supposed to go to Mansarovar, but we ran out of time. So we are now at Bandiravan. So from here, we're going to run to take a bus because it's across. Mansarovar is all the way back, near Vrindavan, across the river. So Vasaki is driving around. Nitai Chand is driving.
Sorry.
That's the turn over here.
Position got
Yes,
snapped.
yes.
I'll be gone soon.
And then here, hey, don't worry, he's only here temporarily. Because aren't we all? So, all right, so now we're driving to Mansarovar. And here we are. Now, there's a description in the book, naturally, in the Vraja mandala Parikrama book. And,
In Bandiravan, isn't there also, there's like, well, there's that pond, right? And isn't it somehow related to Krishna swallowing the forest fire?
yes, we only mentioned Bandiravan today in relation to Krishna and Radha having children pastimes. But we went there a few days ago. You remember?
Yeah.
There was the Manjutabi forest. Krishna and Balaram were taking, and the boys were taking their lunch, and the cows started straying away, and I don't remember a pond. It was quite a forest, it was quite dry.
It's not the pond, it's like a well.
Oh, the well.
What's that well?
The well is Venu Koop. What happened was Krishna, and this is in relation to the gopis, because they were doing rasa dance, and then the gopis got tired. So Krishna, with his flute, he created this big well. We'll show you it. I mean, I'm not going to show you it. Gurudev is going to show it to you. But anyway, here we are.
Oh, man, we missed.
Where did we miss? We'll go there.
Okay, but it was walking distance.
From where? Oh, we jump. We jump on Hanuman strength here. Okay, so here we are at Mansarovar. These are the trees. The trees are like this. You can sit on it because it's all fallen over from separation. Here. So, So here we are in the forest, and let us roll in lots of dust there. And take the dust on our head, hearts, tongue, and eyelids. And here is the pond. And we're going to hear from Gurudev about how this pond was created. So there is a description here, and it has a lot of the information that Gurudev said in his lecture. And I'm going to read that because there's a lot of extra personal things because you're getting him right there. So this was 2003. First he said, you should take Achman. And then there's a description in the endnote. We love putting in endnotes. There's a description of what is Achman. When you take Achman at a pool, at a pond. Let's see. Achman is a ritual. You know, you go like that every day with Tulsi, and whenever we go to a pond, we're doing the Achman. So let's hear about that. Achman is a ritual of purification by which one takes bath by mantra and sips water 3 times. At the holy places, one chants the Achman mantra, Om Keshavaya Namaha, etc. Etc. means, what is the etc.? Om Narayanaya Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Vishnuraya Namaha. And then praise, well here's a new one, isn't it? Praise to the particular pond or river or lake. You have personally witnessed the pastimes of Radha and Krishna here. So you are qualified to manifest these pastimes in my heart. What was that? Let's do it again. You have witnessed the pastimes of Radha and Krishna here. Where are we? Manasarova. So you are qualified to manifest these pastimes in my heart. So we're going to hear the pastimes. Please bestow your mercy upon me. Isn't that what we always do? Prabhupada said that yoga means to pray to Krishna. Now fallen, please save me, that's yoga, that's all. So all this is an extension of that.
Please save me what?
I'm fallen, please save me. That's yoga, that's all.
That's yoga.
That's
That's
yoga.
all. That's his yoga.
Yoga is the definition of yoga. Please bestow your mercy upon me, that I may one day be qualified to see these pastimes. Please manifest in my heart what you have seen. So, like we do that when we open a book. Oh, Prabhu, you're not a book, you're reading yourself, Prabhu, so on. Please make me realize whatever I'm hearing from you as I sit directly at your feet. So then, let's hear the pastime. Yes. Take Achman from this pond, thinking it to be the very swarup or form of Srimati Radhika, and pray for her mercy. During Rasa Lila, Srimati Radhika saw that Krishna is dancing with me, but he's also dancing with everybody else. Because she knows Krishna the best, she knows more than anybody what a cheater he is. He tells me that he loves me the best, but now I look here, he's dancing. I look here, he's dancing. But no other gopi could see that. So they all got what's called Sobhagya Mada, the wine of intoxication of thinking that Krishna loves me the best. And he's only dancing with me. He tells me lies like, I've given my heart to you. You are my most beloved. But now he's treating me just like the others. So she entered into a sulky mood of very angry mood. Now, all these words, like Prabhu was saying yesterday, it says angry, but it's not any kind of anger that we can imagine. It's also uncontrolled. That is, you don't control your anger. It's out of your control. And if you control it, then it goes away. But it is, there's no English equivalent to any Sanskrit term. Plus, mundane language cannot approach a spiritual truth. Plus, we have imperfect senses. So from all the above, even if Krishna says something clear as a bell, we're not going to understand it until we do bhajan and then realize it. And at once began to weep. She left the Ras mandala. Mandala means circle. Ras mandala, the circle of the dance. In Sevakunj, all the way back in Vrindavan, she crossed the Jamuna and finally came here to this lonely forest to hide herself here. How she crossed the Jamuna on foot, nobody knows. And how she came here, it's a great distance. Nobody can understand. So then, all of a sudden, because the gopis didn't see Krishna anymore, the whole thing stopped. That's why the Manjaris love to serve, even in the rasa dance. They're not interested to dance with Krishna, but they do things like, if Radharani's, if her ankle bell flies off, then Krishna will lose his inspiration for playing the flute, and then the whole dance stops. So they go and fetch it, bring it back in the wink of an eye, so that nothing stops. So Ras stopped because Krishna began searching for her. Searching. When he finally found her, he saw that she was weeping and that a large pond was created from her tears. I brought one of a devotee back in the 80s to see Gurudev, to get to meet him, and she asked, how could that happen, that tears turn into a pond? He said, how? You cannot understand until you do bhajan. Thus, this place is called Man Sarovara. Now, up a few sentences, we were just hearing that this pond is the very form of Radharani. So that doesn't mean that she melted into water. It means that her heart melted into the water. Same thing happened at Prem Sarovara. So thus, it's created from her tears, her heart. Thus, this place is called Man, anger, of Sarovara, means pond of anger, made from the Man of Srimati Radhika. So Krishna pacified her here, but it was very hard for him. He took her lotus feet upon his head, and he tried to appease her in many ways. And they also took a vow. This is another adjustment that Prabhu wanted me to make. He said, from now onwards, I will never do anything wrong. Didn't you hear that in another place? The Hardwan or someplace that we were at yesterday, remember?
You said Chanja.
Yeah, that's the story that I told. But yeah, that time also. But yesterday there was some pastime that Maharaj was telling when Krishna was apologizing. He said, vow I'll never do this again. And then he said, and he never did it again. But the adjustment is, he never stops doing it. Huh?
So until tomorrow.
Till tomorrow he couldn't do it. So from now onwards, I will never do anything wrong. I accept that I've committed a mistake. I've offended you, but I promise that I will never do this in the future. Sometimes he even pretends that he did something wrong. Like with the Chandra story, Krishna was worried that Radharani is too right wing, too submissive lately. Doesn't make her happy, the happiest. Doesn't make me the happiest. So I want to do something that she'll be in mind. So he came very late to meet her, and then on top of that, he said, "Oh Chandra, oh my dear Chandra," and pretended that he was going to call her Chandravali, but then called his mistake.
Oh yeah.
So that was a fake mistake, a fake offense, but still it was an opportunity for him to get her feet on his head, which he always wants, and to become more submerged in her by pleading. You know, a man becomes more eager when the girl plays hard to get. So again, he said, "I'll never do this again." So it's like a constant thing. So then, now he's speaking to the devotees who are right there. So he says, "You can see how beautiful these forest kunjas are. There were millions of groves and kunjas here at that time. When Radhika or Sri Krishna were hiding themselves in any kunj, it was very difficult for them to discover where the other was hidden. And sometimes the kunjas are made of a particular color, like red stones or diamonds or blue sapphires. And then the other one would hide and the other one couldn't see them because they were dressed in all the same color as the kunj. At that time, the trees were not like this. Now they are feeling separation for Srimati Radhika and Krishna and are about to die. Again, they're like that. And other leelas were also performed here. Now they cannot see these manifest in this world. We have brought you here, again, Gurudev is being personal to the devotees around. And you're all here with him, so you can't do. We have brought you all to see how beautiful these kunjas are. At that time, these trees were straight and covered with lush creepers, though now they are lying down. No unauthorized person was able to see through them, to see who was there or who was not there. At that time, the kunjas were so large that Rasa Lila and other related pastimes used to take place. Rasa Lila wasn't a small dance. There were millions and sometimes billions of gopis. You can imagine the big space that was required. At that time, Vrindavan forest was only forest. There were not many houses as there are today. According to the desire of Krishna, the kunjas and land could expand and reduce in size. Sometimes when they take a bullock cart, it can fit 1,000 people or it can fit 2 people, they said. And then, every morning, Radharani goes from, where does she go? She goes from Yavat, where her in-laws live, to Nandagaon, earlier, to Nandagaon to cook for Krishna. And so that's some distance away. So it may take her a moment, or it may take a very long time. Because it's all the mood. Everything's made of mood there. So the land could expand and reduce in size. You are very lucky to come with me to this beautiful place. Previously, we used to perform Parikrama by foot. From Belavan, we used to cross the Jamuna by boat, and then walk here by the shore of the Jamuna, a half hour, and then we would return to Vrindavan. Now I cannot do so, but I want that one day we should also do the whole Parikrama by foot. I brought you here to touch this place. You already offered your obeisances and rolled in the dust. And did you do Achman? Remember how to do Achman? Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, etc. But don't just say etc. And then you pray that to the pond that you have witnessed the pastimes here in this place. So please manifest those pastimes in my heart. Please be merciful so that I can also see all these pastimes that you've seen. And to touch the feet of these trees. Is everybody doing that? Can you show the trees again? So now, these trees are exalted devotees. That's why we want to touch their feet. They previously saw Krishna's pastimes as trees. And now they are performing austerities in this form of trees. One day, they will have gopi forms. And at that time, they will be able to enter Rasa Lila. Isn't that amazing? And other such pastimes. All kinds of people enter Rasa Lila. Like there's the scriptures called Gopala Tapani Upanishad, Gopala Tapani, and the scriptures are also persons. Probably another book. So the scriptures are persons, and they have all these pastimes and things in them as a book. And so they got attracted to the pastimes, so they performed austerities, and then in a future birth they became gopis and entered into the Rasa Lila. And they are some of the ones who worshipped Katyayani. Did you hear about that yesterday? Worshipped Katyayani for 1 month during Kartik and did austerities, and then they bathed naked in in the Jamuna, and they were praying to Yogamaya to make Krishna their husband. Now, why am I saying that?
The trees.
Yeah, so the trees became gopis. I mean, the Gopala Tapani Upanishads, they did austerities, and they became siddha, they became gopis, and then they did the bathing in that month of Kartik, and then Krishna appeared to them and said, I will fulfill your desires. Next year, I will dance with you, and you'll enter the Rasa Lila. And also the sages of Dandakaranya, they also, all the groups. So, here we go. This scenery is so beautiful. If anyone has a camera, you should take a picture of it. Birds are sitting here, and the water is very lovely and tasty. You are lucky to have come to this exalted holy place. Now I request you all to take prasadam. Brahmacharis and sannyasis will sit here on one side, and ladies will be on the other side. At once, without delay, please go and sit, because we do not have much time. And then, in the book itself, it talks more about the specifics of how charming the place is. Oh, and I forgot to mention, so Krishna's begging for forgiveness. He placed his flute, like you see in the Sevakunj painting. He's placing his flute. He said, what more can I give you? I'm placing my prize, possession at your feet. That's why you see the flute is so sad there. You see that?
Yeah.
So this charming place in Braj is embellished by the dense shade of the pilu. Anybody know what a pilu tree is? Pilu, kadamba, and tamal trees, and by peacock's nut. Just look around so you can see them. The peacocks, the cuckoos, the swans, the deer, and other birds and animals remains visible to our eyes to the present day, so as to remind us of these pastimes. Now, here also is an old temple, Mansarovar Temple. And in here, there's a painting of Krishna decorating Radharani's feet, or putting his hands at her feet, which I don't know if you can see. Can you see? Very famous painting. I know, here's Gurudev. And here we are. So, you may remember in Jayadev Goswami's Gita Govinda, at different places this happens, where Krishna is offering his flute and his head at her lotus feet, and he's praying as if to say, you remember the verse? Smara Garana Kandana Mama Shira Shivandanam Dehi Parapalavam Udara. You remember that Jayadev Goswami could only say half of this verse. I mean, he wrote it, but he could only write half because he's thinking that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Radharani is his potency. She's subordinate to him. How could he possibly bow down to her? So his hands started trembling, his pen started trembling. He dropped his pen. He said, I can't write it. So then he went to take a bath in the river to think about it. And then Krishna took his form, came back to the house, wrote it himself. And then when he discovered that's what happened, they both fainted, both husband and wife. So then the translation is, the beautiful flower blossoms of your feet counteract the deadly poison of amorous love, and they extinguish the fearsome fire of the pain of that love. Why is amorous love like poison?
Because it hurts.
Huh?
Because it hurts.
Why does it hurt?
Separation or like
Separation, anticipation of separation. And always, there's 4 kinds of separation. One is before meeting, called purvarag, when you just see the person from afar or hear about them. And then there's man, when they're sitting together, but they can't talk. Because he's trying, but she's not listening. And then one is pravas, which means a long distance away, like when Krishna goes to Mathura and Dwarka and they meet 70 years later. And I forgot the one where Krishna's just going away for a few hours.
But what about praying by Chitra?
Yeah, that's true. Praying by Chitya, and the one where he goes for a short time, like the cow grazing, and every moment is like 12 years or yuga. And then praying by Chitra is when they're meeting, but Radharani thinks that Krishna left and he's not there. So that's how the pond of praying Sarovar was created, by her tears as she's sitting on Krishna's lap. But she's weeping and faints and thinking that Krishna's gone and will never come back. So therefore, please be kind and decorate my head with your flower-like feet. So there was our darshan of Mansarovar, and then we're going back to the temple. So let's again offer our obeisances. Tomorrow is a very big Parikrama. Well, tomorrow is also today is what? Today's Halloween. So what time is everybody going to, Harinam? Leaving here at 7? Hmm? Hmm?
Wait, there's no kirtan night here?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow is
Today's Thursday.
right? Tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Did I say
Tonight's-
tomorrow?
Tonight's
Tonight.
Friday.
Tonight, okay. I'm just.
Right.
Okay.
Today, I went from tomorrow to today. So today is Halloween, so there's gonna be millions of people in Woodward. So we're leaving here around 6:45.
Okay.
Or earlier.
Meet
That's,
6:45.
yeah, be here at 6:45. Let's go into Dhamma Rasta come at 6:30.
All right, we'll worship, we'll down the door at 6:30 sharp. And then go right after. I'm gonna stay back and give Prashadam candies. And we'll have this one out there. Tomorrow is Deepavali, right?
It's actually today.
It's today, but we're gonna,
Should we end the live stream?
no, I wanna just mention,
Okay.
well, if anybody from Africa wants to come, tomorrow is Deepavali, and we're having about 100 guests. Thanks to Haridas, who's been doing so much for propagating. He's on the phone all the time going this, that, to encourage people. That's the thing. In order to encourage people to come, because Maya is encouraging them by alluring them with promises of eternal happiness and bliss and all of that. So it's important for us to keep calling people that come. Like there are people who came several times and then they stopped. So I don't know if anybody's calling them. But that's very much part of the whole procedure, is to keep calling them, take their names. Of course, they're gonna go on the database, but also individually, if we take their names and then call them and encourage them. And so tomorrow, we're going in the morning, we're going to Radhakund, Big Radhakund Parikrama, Uddhavkund, Kushan Shirovara, and other places on the Radhakund Parikrama path. Like Raghunath Das Goswami Samadhi Mandir and Janabamata's sitting place, Lord Chaitanya's sitting place, big Parikrama. And then we'll have Prashadam back here at Giridhari Gaudiya Math. And the night, starting, what time is it? Starting tomorrow night?
We're saying 6, we wanna start kirtan at 6.
Start Kirtan at
Start
6.
kirtan at 6, 7 will be Harikatha to like 7:15, 7:30.
7:15 to 7:30,
Then kirtan till 8:30,
and Kirtan till
then
8:30,
prasadam.
and Prashadam, no discussion.
Yeah, you're speaking.
Yeah, 7,
What time?
7.
7, okay. Most people in the world have a misconception about Deepavali, so we try to clarify that as we heard from our Guru Varga. All right, so we'll end the class here. And it's very important that we make everything perfect for tomorrow night. So today's a big marathon of, all the things. All right. More Premanandi. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Vaishnav